Can you see me breathing? Standing here without you, and I can see it's midnight. I cannot live without you. I'm terrified to see you, hiding in the darkness, colder when it's twilight, and I've been feeling restless. Too close, too much, too far.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the second match of the night. Excuse me. Where LVC Valorant will be taking on Cornell University. You can see it up here in the top. I mess this up every time. Top left corner, or for me, the top right. And I'm excited to get into this one. This is also a very important matchup. If you were here just a little bit ago, you saw LVC Rocket League take a 3-1 victory over Cincinnati Z, where they claimed first place by sole possession of first place in the NECC Varsity Plus East 4 division. But here we have LVC Valorant looking to give themselves an opportunity at the playoffs in the NECC Challengers Mideast B division. Now, these two teams very, very even in terms of their records, as LVC is currently sitting in second place, where they are listed, where they are 3-1. Technically, it's a four-way tie for first. U Ottawa is in first place. This is all based on round diff. So the order of the standings, at least in the top four, is U Ottawa Gray, LVC, York Spartans Green, and Cornell Red. So this matchup is very important for not only playoff seeding, but playoffs as a whole, as RMU also plays York today, which RMU could jump into a playoff spot and take the loser of this match and send them out of playoffs completely if things go their way. So this becomes a very pivotal matchup, especially with just 2 weeks left and only the top 4 teams making it to playoffs. This is sure to be a really good matchup and very, very important for both teams to win this game. As if RMU can pull off the upset over York, then it becomes a bit sketchy in the standings there. It may very well come down to round diff at that point, rather than the pure win-loss record. And that's something that you don't want to have to deal with. You certainly just want to be in that playoff spot. You want to be hanging out, chilling, big chilling, getting that first or second seed where you're not really as worried about getting knocked out compared to the rest of the table. Outside of that, I don't have a lot of information, at least on this roster, or at least this Cornell roster. I do obviously, of course, have information on the LVC roster, which there isn't a ton to talk about here. The biggest thing would just be stats, and there hasn't been really any major outliers outside of Juice, who has a 1.79 overall KD, which is, to be quite honest, absurd, especially as a Smokes player. But outside of that, there hasn't been really much to talk about. Crisper sitting at a 1.1. He is the duelist, so it's kind of expected of him. And to be quite honest, there's just not much there. Outside of that, I don't really know what's going on, but we do have everyone in the lobby except for one player. I don't see anything in the chat, so oh, he just joined, so I completely missed that part. But now we have everyone in the lobby. I'm assuming they're all good to go, just waiting on a couple players to get out of the range. I'm sorry, I completely butchered that one. I forgot what the range was called, but we should be ready to go in just a second. In fact, both teams are ready, so we're ready to get into map number 1 here as we get things going. It will be Ascent as map number 1. Map number 2 will be Lotus, where LVC has been very strong on all season long. And map number 3 will come on Sunset, the new map, if we get there. And LVC going to be starting off as the defenders here on Ascent, as they look to get themselves going. This is a map they have not played yet this season. This is the first time all season they've played it. And this is essentially your standard composition here for Ascent. I had a conversation with Juice about this earlier. This is all you're going to see pretty much anywhere you look. Pro League, Collegiate, top of Collegiate, bottom of Collegiate, every single team is going to run essentially this composition. You can even see it. It's just, that's how this map works. I don't really know how to describe it. I personally am not good enough in the Valorant mindset to kind of explain why this composition works, why it is the way it is, why every team runs it. But you're just going to see KO, Omen, sorry, I'm forgetting names everywhere. KO, Omen, Sova, Jet, and Killjoy. Every team is going to run this. I apologize for the lack of intel on this. This has been the meta for over a year. Over a full year, this has just been the meta for this map specifically. So there's just really not much to talk about anymore. It just all comes down to strats and who's shooting better. So we will see what occurs there as we get ready to go into the map. As a few of the players from Cornell just want to take the full time they could to talk about how they want to go about this map and start their attack. Now we're finally ready to get into this pivotal series. The winner very well could clinch their playoff spot today. The loser, though, could very well be knocked out of playoffs if things don't go the way that they want, that they need them to. So very, very integral that either team wins this. The winner certainly in a much better spot than the loser, especially with how short the season is. We'll have to wait and see what happens here. And unfortunately, Valorant takes a year and a half to load into the map, so we'll have to, unfortunately, wait. Which I'm sure if you guys have been, or if you guys follow LVC or are fans of this team, this wait may be a bit obnoxious, and it is for me too. I'm sorry, I'm running out of stall. I don't have a lot of stats to work off of, and there's just not much interesting there either. So speaking on the rest of this division, let's take a look while we're waiting here to see who else is playing. And we finally are into the game, but real quick, I just want to mention who else is playing. U Ottawa Gray is taking on Buffalo, who is at the bottom of the table. U Ottawa is at the top of the table, so that likely could be a 2-0. And Messiah is taking on Marion Tech. Those are both bottom teams, so that match doesn't really mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But now that we are into the map, we are ready to go. We're going to kick things off with LVC. We'll kick things off with the man that LVC has been relying on to play up to the standards. That is Juice, who's on the Sova this map. He's been handing, a majority of the time, he's been handing his smokes roll over to Mozzie, who's also a smokes player for this team.
Standing ahead,
as he can have a bit more flexibility. We're going to see a split push here from Cornell. Going to be looking to gain some information over towards the middle of that map. See which site looks better to rotate towards. It'll really be up to Mozzie here, alongside B-Dog, to call out whatever intel that they get, as it looks like it's going to be closer and closer to that B-Dog push, and he's going to have to back away. Spots one and does the smart thing and gets out of there. As now Mideast on site is just being contested. There's a lot of players here. Can he get at least one? He does. Takes out one with the molly. That's going to be Drizzy down, but the trade is in pretty quickly. And we see it looking to retake through tree. The door is going to be getting shut, but taken down pretty much immediately. Sova arrows are traded. Now let's get to Crisper here. He's going to be the entry man for LVC. Takes down Red, Spy, and now here they come. Look at that from Crisper. Gets down to a 1v1. He has 3 on the round. Can he make the play? Gets the spot. Now we go around. Crisper's shots are somewhat there, but he needs to start going. He needs to start going, and finally gets the kill. He will win the 1v1, and LVC will take round number 1 in our series. I actually had to wait a second just to make sure I was correct on that, but the spike does in fact get defused. LVC does in fact get the round. So we will head to round number 2, where LVC were victorious in the pistol. Got a bit sketchy in the end there, especially with Crisper having to run around that box, and that was played pretty well by Giraffe, as he did as much as he could to stall. He stalled basically till the end. If he would have held on for even a singular second more, he would have won that round. But Crisper just gets there fast enough and does enough damage to get the kill and get the defuse. Just in the nick of time.
Right here.
Juice now going to be switched up over towards mid. Taking advantage of the Omen smoke. Going to take some space if he can. Giraffe not looking at this anymore. But look at that. Juice somehow gets alive with full HP. Has Lax in front of him. That's the spike down. How much can Juice get out of this? He has another few players in front of him. Good shots from Juice with that Spectre. Or not Spectre, sorry. With the Stinger. Takes down 2. B-Dog finding another. And this should be another round for LVC. As he has to reload, but he gets the re-peek fast enough. And it's all down to Red Spy in a 1v5. Fantastic work from Juice. Playing it very smart, throwing the shoulder out, and then taking the space back in his favor. That's going to give LVC another round, and now we head to the bonus with LVC looking fantastic. Going to round number 3, LVC looking to take the bonus off of Cornell, but of course, you can see in the loadout section of our scoreboard here, that's going to be a bit of a tough thing to do. Of course, it's going to be a full buy from Cornell, as it should be. And it looks like Cornell going to completely change up the strategy. As Mideast gets detected, he's going to make that call. The rest of LVC stack over towards A. They put all their chips in one basket, and that's going to make, they might pay for it, unless Mideast is able to make a big play. And he takes down 1. That's a huge pick for him. Tries to flick onto a second, but doesn't get there. He at least gets his 1 before falling. Maybe would have liked to stay up just a little bit longer. And these are good trades from LVC. They can grab guns here. And they have a good pinch going too. Every player stuck on site for Cornell.
Shadows traveling.
This is not the most ideal position, especially with the weapons that LVC does have now. They do at least have 2 rifles to work with.
Revealing area.
But they got to start making their move, and they're going to do just that. As Juice can't get the flick. Mozzie does, though. Mozzie finds 2, tries to get the 3rd, but he gets pushed. B-Dog falling there ends up being the deciding factor in that round. If B-Dog is able to stay up there in that lane, he's certainly able to help Mozzie win the round. But finally, Cornell get 1 on the board, but in a very close one. Realistically, they shouldn't have won that. There shouldn't have been that tough to win that round, especially with how they took the site pretty quickly and pretty easily too, with just Mideast there. The retake from LVC was very solid, just not quite enough to get the job done, especially with Mozzie, especially with Juice there not finding an entry.
Right here.
And Mozzie only able to get 2. 2 players from LVC get detected towards A main. It's likely going to be a push here for Cornell. Flash comes down. Now they make the push. Mozzie tries to put a shot down. Ends up taking a bit of damage and getting away. But LVC now have some info to work with. I believe B-Dog did catch Red Spy there. I would assume that's why he's holding this angle still. Things are now going to come to a halt here in the round. Juice did throw that top mid. I think got the spot on that player that was there, but either way, they're going to be pushed out now. Here comes the ultimate from Giraffe. And LVC can no longer use their abilities on the site. And Mozzie almost had a few players line up right in front of him, but he just ends up missing every bullet.
Right here.
And Crisper just getting a cut down too. So that's a free site for Cornell. They should take this round here. They're in prime position to tie this game up at 2. What does Juice find on the play from Heaven? Being held by Tan. He's just going to do a bit of damage to Juice there, and the pinch there from Red Spy going to be coming clutch. Takes down those 2 players in tree, and Tan Hua going to close out the round with that kill on to Juice. So Cornell bouncing back in a big way, and they've broken the economy of LVC, who have to save this round. Also 2 ultimates still in their hands. Red Spy with the lockdown, and Tan Hua Gonna have the Hunter's Fury. Not a single ultimate in the hands of LVC, but Crisper and Juice both close to theirs, and you could say about the same for B-Dog and Mozzie too. Again, LVC just looking for that spread, and this time, you know, again, full hit.
Standing ahead.
For Cornell. Now they're getting aggressive up mid. They know they have the weapon advantage. Juice barely managing to get back with that Marshall in time. He's going to put Mideast in a really awkward spot. Can't flick fast enough. Doesn't get the centering down. He flies out and ends up paying for it. And this should be another play. And honestly, another round for Cornell. As Red Spy takes down B-Dog. And Spike does go down. Shot not connecting for Juice. This is going to be another round for Cornell as it comes down to Mozzie. Not a single kill. Another flawless. Cornell just starting to stomp on LVC in these past few rounds. Cornell's been doing a great job of taking advantage of those LVC holds. They're putting such little presence towards that B site, and Cornell is continuing to take advantage of it and send the house at Mideast. And it's worked every single round so far that they have won. They also are taking the lead here on Ascent. This time we're going to kick the round off with them, which it's essentially the exact same play again. And LVC, are they going to be able to do anything to stop it? Crisper does have the operator. He's going to have Juice
You should run.
in position to bait out for him too. But look at that. Tanhua gets caught out trying to throw down the radar dart. And that's going to give Mideast just a little bit of time, but he's going to be stuck. He's going to get detained on site, and he probably will get taken down there. Unless if Juice is able to get a very good eye on him. As Mideast does fall. Took a bit longer than I expected, honestly, but regardless, it's still a 4v4. As Juice trying to find this player. Drizzy doesn't get the kill. Juice will claim that one. The spike does get planted in the mean of all of that. Crisper also popping the Blade Storm here. Has 1 HP, so this is going to be a bit of a tough shot for him. Spots the head of Red Spy. Opt for that operator back out. But look at Cornell finding every kill. Not a single chance in hell for LVC on that retake. And this is looking scary for Lebanon Valley. You are getting stomped on every retake. And that cannot be happening. That's exactly why you'll see Juice call the timeout there. Apologies for the really hard to see scoreboard. But B-Dog, you can see, has his ultimate. Mozzie has his ultimate as well. 2 and 5 from Mideast, B-Dog, Mozzie, not what you want to see. And Cornell, the second that they get on site, they've looked fantastic. Mideast just not able to hold much on that B site, and he is just getting tormented over there. And look at this from Cornell. You can see the pings. They may even be looking to go towards that A site just to play the mind games a little bit more. And that could lead to disaster if LVC look for a different read here. And just a big brain play for Cornell. But ever since the start of those first 2 rounds, it's been Cornell very handily. They won their first couple of rounds a bit close, but after that, they've just been blowing LVC out of the water with their takes. And it hasn't been much that's really complex. It's just been simply walking onto the site, knowing one guy is there, and taking the space that they're being given. Cornell going to be betting on LVC, putting a lot of investment into that B site, and that's just not going to be the case here. Just revealing sonar dart. Tries to get a pick early with that Marshall, but ultimately it's smoked off. Crisper almost connected with the head of Giraffe, but just a little bit off on that one way.
Enemy tag.
And Juice gonna at least hit a recon dart into one of them.
Stealing sight.
The entire army here. Wax taking down Juice early. And that is a big loss for LVC to take. Although Mozzie, he's taking one, taking 2. Good shot from Mozzie, but it's not going to be enough. 3v1 for Mideast. And it seems like he's in these positions every other round in this season. He's not been too great in them. Is there anything the freshman can do? Stuck with a Marshall. And his location is known. And there's not going to be a chance for him to take any form of space. Spots him and takes him down. 5-2, and Cornell are continuing to roll in game number 1. That was a save round, though. Now we see can buy here. Finally, able to get back in that buy category. But again, the economy just not great if they lose this. They're once again broke. Also, Maze B-Dog with the ultimates. Juice does have the Hunter's Fury to work off of.
Scanning ahead.
Look at this. They're just going to run it down. They are running it down main. Can they capitalize off it? Do they check Mideast? No. He only gets one. He only gets one in that position, but he's getting traded out by Juice. But certainly you would have liked to see Mideast find a bit more in that spot. Ultimately, though, that's going to be the spike carrier. And the door goes down so quickly. LVC can just hold his position. Juice and Crisper doing the work. And again, it's Juice and Crisper for LVC going big. Juice with 3, Crisper finding another. And while that storming through B main wasn't a terrible idea, it was just not checking that corner for Mideast that ends up being the death of him. And really, I think even bigger of a mistake is sending the guy with the spike all the way up those stairs. He should have just went to go back to site and plant the spike. Force LVC into another retake where they have just not been great. But finally, LVC stopped the bleeding. They could still put this half at a draw, too. They are not very far off of what the score Cornell is. It's just the rounds they have lost have looked much worse than what they really have been, than what really the score line is showing here. Again, that's going to lead to a switch up. And I do understand that from Cornell.
Shadows
Toss another smoke. Trying to get these one-ways going. But he's going to be suppressed, so they do know his location. That drone wasn't enough. They definitely know where he's at now. He tries to re-peek, but doesn't really have much working there. And again, the ultimate coming out from Giraffe. Dash onto sight. Is Mozzie going to be aware of this? No. It's going to be Drizzy finding first blood, and that's a great play from Drizzy. Dashing onto site, getting all the intel onto Mozzie and taking him down. That's going to lead to another retake.
Spike planted.
Force from LVC. Juice towards mid. Doesn't get the timing on red spot. And it looks like he does. Takes minimal damage too. And Juice has Hunter's Fury. He could just pop that and throw this onto site. Got the lockdown coming in. Now the Hunter's Fury for Juice. Actually, no. The Hunter's Fury for Cornell. That's going to be Tanhua. Looking for that in the pinch now for LVC. Look at this from Juice. Shots are clean. And he's just going to go for that defuse. Allow his teammates to pick off the final player. And a great work from Juice on the drop. Takes down 4 in the round. Almost has the ace, but Crisper, the one to close it out. And LVC put 2 back-to-back. That retake at the start honestly looked kind of sketchy, but especially after Mozzie falls on site. But they managed to get back together. They pop that lockdown, force the players on site to make a play, and that's exactly what gives them the edge in that round.
Right here. Right here.
Let's see what Cornell cooks up this time around. Now they've been stopped a couple times in a row. Dart gets taken down. Location definitely known, especially after that. Here comes the recon drone. Not going to find much, but Juice, who they already knew was here, and it doesn't even matter. The shots from Juice are so clean. You might know his location, but you still have to stop him. B-Dog taking down Tanhua. And LVC looking to get back into a draw. This has just been such a back-and-forth battle since that streak there from Cornell. Mozzie not going to center quick enough. So they'll at least get one back. And that'll be another back as Crisper takes the challenge, falls. Juice takes the challenge, falls. And all of a sudden, the round is turned on its head. LVC getting so overzealous, trying to take a lot of space on the map. And that's going to cost them. Now down to a 2v3. down to Mideast and B-Dog. 2 new players on the roster. Let's see. It's just
30
putting it on the
seconds
site,
left.
making sure no one's around. Now Mideast gets the intel. So they do have the info. The ultimate, he's just going to pop it right here.
Spike planted.
Wise pop from B-Dog. Flash onto sight, but he needs to hit the shots. He needs to hit the shots, and he's going to go down. Modi is essentially going to have to 1v3 this. He doesn't really have to get
Remaining.
shots to, and almost takes down all 3. Just barely. Not going to get there. Good shots from Modius on that one. And these rounds are starting to get a bit close once again. Something we didn't see for a little bit there, but now we're getting back into it. Juice sitting at 14 and 7. Next closest player in the lobby has 10 kills.
Shutting them down. Suppressed.
Already that mid battle once again going down, but Juice
No more.
just look at the one-man army. He's able to barely escape after that headshot on the
Deploying
draft. And the spoiler in these rounds has just certainly been Juice, but here comes CRISPR with the operator. Takes down another. Great work from the duo. Juice and CRISPR winning that battle towards mid, and that is just going to again halt the round. LVC needs to be careful here, though. They don't want to give anything away. And B-Dog just trying to throw his knife, gets caught out over towards mid. And Mozzie now going to be taking the space over towards A main. CRISPR just turning away at the worst possible time. Drizzy, believe, had eyes on CRISPR's location. So does LVC play into this?
30 seconds.
And you know what? Gets taken out. There goes the operator. Once again, it's 2 in the round for CRISPR. And that should just about do it. 20 seconds left. As long as Mideast finds this kill, that realistically should be the round. But
One
a
enemy
bit of awkward
remaining.
timing. Does find the headshot, though.
Spike down.
That's going to leave it all down to Drizzy. And he's got way too much ahead of him. Just looking for some exit kills, but Juice gets there
Revealing area.
too quickly. And LVC again looking to put the half out of
Last
draw.
round before the
We
switch.
head to the last round of the first half. It's been a very unique one, I will say. Even just looking at the scoreboard, two to kick off the game for LVC, then 5 straight for Cornell. And LVC have just bounced back, taking 3 of 4. Looking to make it 4 or 5 to
Right
give
here.
them that 6-6 score line going into their attack.
Right here. Right here. Revealing area.
You can see the
Get out of my way!
recon bolts being traded there. Drizzy popping the Blade Storm. Likely just going to be the entry person here. Especially with how powerful some Jet players can be with their Blade Storms. They all turn into 10s the second that they see these blades in front of them. But here comes Hunter's Fury from Juice. He's been holding this pretty much the entire half. Black's though going to take down 1, nothing from the Hunter's Fury, but the gun going to get double. Juice again, just being a showstopper in the round. Finds a triple. Can he make it a 4th? He
remaining.
does. Now looking
Spike
for the
down,
ace.
B.
It is Juice again for LVC. Can't get the ace. But LVC have the pinch covered. And this will be a round to put the game at a 6-6 score line. Couldn't have asked for a closer one. As again,
Switching
this
sides.
is big playoff implications. Top 4 mixed
Everyone note
playoffs.
down your
These 2 teams
observations,
are
then
tied
let's run
at
it again.
3-1 apiece. LVC does hold a round diff tiebreaker, but not by a ton.
Here.
And of course, they still need the record to back it up. Just a fantastic half from both teams, especially LVC after bouncing back. They looked like they were going to start struggling pretty hardcore if after those first few rounds that Cornell put back to back to back. And they managed to get back into it, take 4 or 5 to end off the half, and
Clear to
tied at
engage.
6
Weapons
going
hot.
into the attack for LVC. What does the space taking look like for Cornell? Look at that. Headshots are
Spike
abound,
down A.
but only one. Corn does get the trade at least. So it is a 3v4 in favor of Cornell here in pistol. That flash becomes crucial for Cornell to take that space, and now LVC have to gather together and see if there's anything that they can do in this pistol to reclaim it. They are only down 1 man, and you can see Lax only at 20 HP. Everyone else at full, but he is essentially
Going
1 bullet.
down.
Actually, I think 2
Back deployed.
if you hit him in the body.
One suppressed.
They get that info. That is huge info up top, but the
Spike
player in
down
tree,
A.
that's going to be Giraffe. Takes down Juice on the entry, and this is essentially done for. This round is basically over at this point, especially with Crispr getting put down to
Last
4
player
HP.
standing.
Comes all down to B-Dog. But he's going to have himself surrounded. Great hold from Cornell. Great job taking the space and re-peeking even after you lose a player.
Out of charges.
And Cornell looking to keep themselves ahead.
Turret out.
So now we head on over to
Charlie
round number
Mike,
2 in the
let's
pistol,
move.
or in the second half.
Suppressing.
You can see LVC a
One
lot more
suppressed.
cautious on this one. Especially after the start of the last round. See Drizzy backing up. And actually continues to back up. Got blinded, so HP gone, but Giraffe is there for the re-peek, and he takes down 2. And Juice whiffs on the shots. You cannot have that happen if
Last
you're
player
Juice.
standing.
As it comes all down to Mozzie, and again, a disaster for LVC. Trying to take the space in A, just getting stormed to Eno on once again from Tree. Mozzie just in a perilous position, gonna get taken down by Tanhua. And again, Cornell starting to pull away once more. But can they hold on to the lead this time? Or will LVC manage to make it a comeback? You can see the stats a lot more even across the board for Cornell. Everyone trying to give their
Here.
best effort. Juice 20 and 10. No one else having even 10 kills on the rest of his team. You need to see these players stepping up from London Valley. B-Dog sitting at 4 and 11. Mozzie at 5 and 10. Just cannot have those types of performances in this game. Look at Drizzy. Sees the flash go down, gets aggressive, but look at that flick onto the head of B-Dog. Hits the head of Mozzie there too from behind the box. Great shots from Drizzy. Doesn't end up finishing off Mozzie as was through a box, so not all the damage will transfer.
Here.
But still, the shots have been fantastic from him. And again, we're going to see it, the round come to a screeching halt. LVC need to readjust here. Rethink what their options are,
Right here.
especially with Mozzie at 6 HP.
Right here. Take flight.
Now the drone going into the site. Is there anything it can spot? Of course, there isn't really anything on site. Just making sure that turret gets taken down, gets
Scanning
marked out
ahead.
for the team. LVC now looking to take the space they've been given and get that spike down.
Like planted.
Does get planted, so now it's going to be a retake for Cornell. Again, Mozzie very weak, so this is very doable if you are Cornell, even with it being the bonus. Giving Juice first man up, finding a kill, Crispr finding another, and look at Juice turning around, finding a third kill in the round. Crispr closes it out. So LVC finally getting back into it,
Where are we going this time?
and we may very well see some trading rounds once more. It's a good bonus from LVC, but of course they still lose a few rifles. So they're going to have to wait to buy those back. And again, LVC just targeting this A site. They haven't really gone B at all here just yet. And they're going to actually rotate a couple out of this, see what's over at B. But I'd like to imagine they just don't want to be a part of this A main take. It can be so sketchy, especially when you have players that get very aggressive like we've been seeing from Cornell. That player you have to worry about, Drizzy, is the one holding mid.
Revealing.
You can see the setup here from Cornell. Just looking to hold. They have every lane covered.
Revealing area.
See though, starting to gather some space out towards mid. Now they're going to look to make a play. Just 45 seconds on the clock. They need to start making their move. Don't have a ton of time to work with, especially with it being a 5-on-5 and having to take the entirety of the site. Red Spy also readjusting. Here comes Tanhua. But actually just going to get shot by Mideast. Just looking to get a spray through the smoke. Ends up taking him
30
down.
seconds left.
Hits that headshot. Trying to come down to Red Spy and what they're able to find on the site. And it's going to be at least one. So it is actually now a 2v3.
Right here.
Somehow LVC again are just not able to find the kills. And that's just been the deciding factor in this game. LVC has just been coming down to Juice, but Mozzie in the 1v1 isn't able to win it. He won one earlier, but Giraffe just at 5 HP, barely able to take that one out.
Gun here.
And that's a pivotal round. That puts Cornell at 9. And again, keeps them at 2. 2 rounds ahead. Not ideal if you're LVC. Certainly another round you probably should have had in your hands that you've just thrown away to the wayside. And a lot of it is just coming from players outside of Juice having a hard time to find kills. Juice cannot be the only one getting players down against this Cornell team. They will continue to punish the poor performances
Placing alarm bot.
of these LVC players.
Turret destroyed.
Red Spy just looking for a headshot through the wall. Not going to get it. Not going to get any damage either. Just has to back away. It's going to lead to Drizzy trying to push out. We're actually getting shut down. So they're going to have to shoot through that. Tanhua pushing forward, does find a double. Red Spy finding 2 as well. Drizzy taking another. This was a save for LVC, but still, only 1 kill going the way of LVC in that round, and it's getting scary now if you're LVC. Pushes have just not looked clean whatsoever from LVC. They at least are able to buy here, though. Again, last round was a save, so that's kind of the goal. You just throw yourself at the other team and hope they get caught off guard or hope they're not able to stop just the numbers game. Ultimately, though, it was Cornell who played just passive enough to find all of those
Good
numbers.
work. Don't screw it up.
Already, LVC making their way out towards B again. Look at Tanhua. Yes, he can off this anytime soon. No, he cannot no longer. As B-Dog with a perfect counter that. Of course, he probably doesn't have that knowledge, but if he sees the VOD after, he'll get to see. That could be crucial in this round, but no, Tanhua finds 3! Doesn't even need the ultimate 4! Straight for Tanhua, and LVC just walks straight into his gun. LVC just walking forward, and you cannot be doing that. If you want to take the site, you have to start using some of your utility. And they're throwing away free rounds to Cornell. Cornell now just 2 rounds away from going up 1-0 in the series, and LVC is in a bit of trouble here. You can see by their buys it
Get
isn't
out of
any
my
better.
way.
Gonna hear that. Without Blade Storm from Crisper here. Almost gets that hit under the head of Drizzy. But close is not going to get him any damage. As now, the pinch coming in from Giraffe and Lax. This is a very smart play from the side of Cornell, and they are looking to punish LVC.
One enemy
And they are
remaining.
doing just
Spike down
that.
mid. Flawless.
Not a single chance for LVC. A flawless in the round. LVC are just getting stormed on
Match point.
in these pushes. And it comes down to match point here for Cornell. Remember, the loser of this series very likely will not make playoffs. There's a good chance they will miss playoffs completely, whoever loses this series. So, it is very pivotal. You start out with a 1-0 lead going into the game 2, not having to force yourself to go through the endurance of taking 2 straight.
Standing ahead.
But Cornell in prime position to shut this one down. And LVC finally switching up the strat. After running through B main 3 or 4 straight times, they have finally switched it up over to Corday. And look at that from Lax, just getting a good bullet there. Almost takes off the head of B-Dog. But here comes Hunter's
Spike
Fury
planted.
from Tanhua, gonna take down one Drizzy, taking down another. And this may just be it. LVC at least respond with a couple of their own. It is a 3v3.
Right here.
And here comes Cornell. Crisper not able to get out of hell. Not able to get out of hell quick enough, and that's going to cause him to fall. Now LVC have to find a way to hold this from wine and A main.
Nowhere to run!
And this is actually a great play from Juice as the Undisputed. He's the last player left alive. He has to just try and hope he takes out this player on site. He doesn't. Now has to take Tanhua, and he cannot. The Fuse will come in 13-7. Cornell
Defenders win.
go up to 1-0.
Over.
And that's not what you want to see if you're Lebanon Valley. The good thing, though, about this is that LVC will at least be heading onto their best map on Lotus. As you can see the scoreboard here, 26-16 from Juice, 25-12 from Tanhua. Just a battle there, but the rest of the team is really where you see players shine. Cornell with just a very solid team effort, as we will head to a bit of a break here. So I will toss it over to the break as we get ready to gear up for map number 2. LVC looking to push it to Sunset, and Cornell looking to close it out 2-0. Who will take map number 2? We will be right back in about 5 minutes to find out. We'll see you then.
Cross my heart, hope to die. Just tell me what's on your mind. You say jump, how high? You need love, I'm by your side. I need your love, you're my favorite drug. I'm not giving up on my favorite. lost my heart, hope to die. Just tell me what's on your mind. You say jump, how high? I need love, I'm by your side. I need your love, and I feel like jumping. I give it up, I feel like jumping. I need your love, and I feel like jumping. I give it up, I wanna be yours.
And we are back. As you can see, Cornell took map number 1. If you missed the map, it was fairly even, especially in the first half. It ended 6-6. There was, I think, 4-5-ish straight rounds from Cornell towards the start of the map, but ultimately LVC at least brought it back and put it at 6-6.5. And then the defensive side was all Cornell. I should say the defensive side for Cornell was all them, as they took the map 13-7, only giving LVC 1 round in the second half. Now looking to close out the series in a 2-0 fashion here on Lotus. Of course, if you have been following us, Lotus is LVC's best map, certainly their most played, as they are currently 2-1 on it. Still haven't played it a ton. Actually, sorry, Bind is their most played map, but their second most played map here is Lotus, where they currently sit at 2-1. So I'm curious to see if they are able to bring it back here. This is, again, a very pivotal series for playoffs. The winner of the series in a very good position to take at least the second or third seed. Possibly the first, I think, if York ends up losing a game. But the loser of the series, not in a good spot at all, as it is top 4, and there's already a 4-way tie for second, I believe. So this series is very pivotal for both squads. I'm very curious to see the setup here for LVC. Of course, they're running their standard comp that they would always run on this map, and I believe it's actually being mirrored here by Cornell, and it is. So just have a pure, again, agent matchup for both sides. And we saw it on Ascent, and that's more expected. There are some different comps you can run here on Lotus, but ultimately both these teams decide not to. And on Ascent, I've said it before, but I'll gladly say it again. Ascent is possibly, or is the only map where you'll really see just a singular comp. So this is a bit of a surprise, I'd say, but again, it's not that big of a surprise because there are obviously meta comps, and this is one of them. LVC going to be on the defense to kick us off. That's Cornell looking to take B, and that's going to be Mozzie. The man to watch out for on the site. Already, he's getting pressured pretty quickly. That wall will go up, though. Forces Cornell back just for a little bit. CRISPR does have a nade here. Intel on where these players are at. He might pop it, but actually has to back away from the snake bite. And now Mozzie pushed out as well. He's still hanging out top site, but he can't really do a whole lot. He is smoked off fully. If he pushes out, he's certainly a dead man. And Cornell with the plant down. It's a 5v5 retake. It's about to be pandemonium on the site.
Time to
Here
hunt.
comes the Prowler from B-Dog.
They're concussed.
Gonna spot a couple, and it actually does connect. So Mozzie may be able to get one out of this, and he does. Look at that from Juice. Takes down Giraffe, and LVC now have the opportunity to go for the attack. Mozzie ends up accidentally trying to shoot his own teammate. Crisper going for the defuse. Isn't going to be
One
enough.
enemy remaining.
Mozzie's shots just barely get there. He has 1 HP to his name, and the defuse does come in a chaotic round. Mozzie finds 3 at 1 HP. And that's what you want to see, especially from LVC after that map 1. Bouncing back, looking to get themselves on the board with a map 2 victory. They need it. They want to at least send this to sunset. But a good start for LVC. But this is exactly what happened last map as well. They took the first 2 rounds and then proceeded to lose 5 straight just to bring it back to 6-6 before the half. Now a bit more of a split push for the side of Cornell. They're going to be looking more towards A this time around. They do have a couple players posted up towards B main, but it'll look like a rotation coming in. You can see that Viper wall off the beginning half as well. Also, right next to Tanhill. He's going to go for a flank here, I'm assuming. See if he's able to catch anyone off guard if he decides to go for that entire push through, but we'll need to rely on Mozzie and B-Dog here for that call.
Hawk out. Blinded.
That could be a huge flash. That could be a huge flash. They walk right into Mozzie. Great work
Spike
from
down
B-Dog.
A.
Finds
One
one of his
enemy
own too.
remaining.
As it comes all down to the last player, that would be Red Spy, who gets taken out in tree. Fantastic work from that duo, B-Dog and Mozzie. The flash just perfectly timed. Puts 2 in front of Mozzie, who can't see a thing. And B-Dog cleaning up 2 more. That's the last player I believe was taken out also by Mozzie. I think he had a 3K in that round. He's sitting at 5-0 right now. Great start from him. As again, Cornell back to the drawing board. Now in the bonus. This is a pivotal one for both sides.
Blinded.
A very split push this time around. Look at Lax. So smart.
Get him.
Just waiting for this one. Goes to Boombot can spot him, so he backs up even further. But finally, shots go down, and now he's going to be putting himself in a bit of a different spot. Decides to get away. That flank for LVC, though, will have to be watched. But if the site's taken quick enough, it won't matter a whole lot. It's all down to what Juice and Mideast are able to do. Mideast
Spike
finds 1.
down.
That's the spike, too. And Juice finds another. This has been fantastic work from these two on site. Finally, Juice gets cut down, but Mideast still causing chaos in
One
this
enemy
corner.
remaining.
As Mozzie takes down another, puts it all down to Tanhua.
I got the spike.
Spike Crab has a Vandal in hand, can make this happen, but Crisper comes from the pinch. That is beautiful from LVC to take the bonus round there, and that is crucial after how game number 1 went. They take the bonus off of Cornell, and now
Placing sentry.
they've broken the economy and grabbed the weapons that they've been able to find.
Placing alarm bot. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade. Nice and easy.
And again, I'm going to see Cornell for that point.
There.
See their shots ring out. Red Spy did see, but I'm assuming they're going to play out this round, and then they'll pause if Red Spy is still not back in the game. At least it was at the start of the round, so Red Spy could join back and still play. We'll have to see what happens, though. It's again the main focus, kind of towards A.
Here. Toxin screen down.
Start to slow down a little bit. LVC don't want to give themselves away. They don't really need to either. They can just play the clock here and force this to be a matter of a weapon advantage rather than a strat advantage. Gonna start dealing with a lot of pressure.
30 seconds left.
Blinded, just trying to shoot straight, but there's a double blind there.
Strike down
The
A.
blind from Mozzie gonna give Juice an opportunity. Look at the shots being whipped for both players. Finally, Juice wins that fight. Mozzie gonna take down Drizzy. And essentially,
Toxins going
it's a
up.
1v5 here for Giraffe. I'm
10 seconds
spamming
left.
0 and it's not letting me change, so I apologize. I want to spectate
One
Giraffe, but I
enemy
can't.
remaining.
3 down.
And finally, Giraffe will fall. And it
Here.
goes all down to Red Spy, who is not there. So, actually, they're not going to be spawned in round number 5 either. Not sure what happened there. They're going to go for a tech pause here, as they should, I would imagine. They do want to get their player back. So we'll take a bit of a break as we wait for, I believe it was, as we wait for Red Spy to get back into the game. I'm not sure how long they're going to be paused for, so I'll just talk a little bit about LVC. So far, they've been doing a great job of holding Cornell to those last 30, 40 seconds of the round and forcing them to just dive straight into them. Again, defense on Lotus is fairly easy, I would say, for most teams, but definitely a much easier thing for this LVC roster. They have done a great job of coming up with strats and really thinking of how they want to force opposing teams in general down a specific place to get their guns ready and to get the side that they're playing against into into the end of the round where they don't have time to really check their corners, check their routes, and give themselves a bigger advantage there. But I guess we're probably going to be in tech pause for a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then what we'll do is we'll come back when we're ready to get back into the game. But for now, we'll send it over to a break. 4-0 currently for LVC as we wait for Red Spy to get back in the game. We'll be right back.
Here. 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 Here.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have
Here.
gotten Red Spy to reconnect to the lobby. We're now ready to resume, and resume we will. Round number 5, LVC up 4-0,
Here, on my way.
but Cornell up 1-0 in the series. LVC looking to send this one to sunset. See the spike there all the way in spawn. So Cornell gonna have to be aware of that. You see 2 players pushed up really far towards C.
There.
It's gonna be Drizzy and Red Spy. They'll finally back off, just trying to take out some of that Killjoy util
I
towards
have
the
the
front of the
spike.
site. That's really what got to them last round, where they got wiped on site. B-Dog, the lone man on A, and he's gonna have his work cut out for him. His team isn't rotating fast enough. But we see Crisper make his way over. But again, I don't think there's really been much intel.
I've
given
got
there
your
to see.
trail.
Seekers
Blinded.
are out, so now B-Dog gonna have to back away and just allow this site to be
30
taken
seconds left.
by Cornell. Just waiting to execute on the play. Giraffe gonna get that spike planted, and
Spike
now
planted.
LVC have a 5-on-5 retake. B-Dog send the dog out. So anything that can spot. Does at least see a player in tree, but Tanhua gonna be the one to find the first blood.
This guy's dead.
Juice takes down him. Now that was a full trade.
My
Juice
ultimate is ready.
continuing to trade out players, but it's gonna come down to these players. Actually, no, it doesn't come down to Mozzie, who falls there inside of connector.
Last player.
Now it comes down to B-Dog, and he's not gonna have the shots on target. Cornell gonna get their first round on the board. That is a great play from Cornell, just waiting so patiently and decide to pop the Seekers to give themselves the site. They don't let it go. Post-plant positions were very solid there from Cornell, forcing LVC to just play straight into them. And now they'll finally get on the board. Looks like it may end up being a hit towards C site this time. And see where the spike is and see where 3 of those players at Cornell are. Mideast gonna have a lot of work ahead of him.
Kill my
Just find
bot.
one and get out. Satchel not gonna connect. This is a typical spot where Mideast plays, but this time he's back a bit further. Snakebite also gonna further take that away, but Crisper gets shot on the flank. He gets taken out. Doesn't find a single kill on flank. And that's big for
Blinded.
Cornell. And now they may just rotate. They may just completely let go of C and take this one over towards A. Spike is now in the hands of Giraffe. And they're cutting noise. This is a good spot for Cornell. The timing is right. They could take major advantage of this play. That turn gonna give Mozzie the intel.
30 seconds left.
Now he's being pressured from both sides. And he's trying to do something, but there's 5 players just staring right at him. He cannot do a thing about that.
Spike
Lag's gonna get
planted.
the drop onto Mideast. Down to Juice and B-Dog. 2v5 retake. Is there anything that these two can do in this situation? I don't really think there is. This is a very tough site to break back into. And Juice and B-Dog likely just going to play for the save and see if they can get any exit kills on the rifles. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Juice, though, just going to creep up a little bit. Make sure no one's getting too out of their marks. And he actually ends up taking a bit of damage there to that molly. Does get away, though, and so does Cornell. They also get out of there with a round. So they're starting to build back here. We're down 4-0, now down 4-2. Need two more straight to take, or to set it to a tie. If LVC can keep Cornell at 2, though, that would be a massive one for them. Certainly a big boost of confidence, especially after map 1. Cornell again.
Here.
Just going to take their time. Nice. The TP over. Crisper, no, Crisper gets dropped on. And Crisper has been getting first blooded in so many of these rounds. Such a crucial factor in how LVC plays, and he just keeps getting cut down at the start of these rounds. Cannot be happening with your duelist. We're now looking to take advantage, but again, they may have to just push straight through Mideast on this C site. He's able to get Mozzie gonna fall there too.
You should run.
Juice in a pivotal 1v1 gonna fall to Giraffe. Now Mideast has to drop off site because of that lockdown.
Found the alarm bot. Swarm grenade out.
That spot in the corner will not be there either. That is a great lockdown placement. That's the site for free. Well, not for free, but that's the site taken for Cornell. And now in a 2v5,
Spike planted.
LVC have their work cut out for them once again. Mideast just stuck back sight. B-Dog gonna get spotted on the flank, does at least find Giraffe, so has something to exit with. But he's gonna need a lot more and tries to get the flash down in time. Red Spy though pushes through, finds the head. And Cornell have come screeching back into this game. And it's a timeout from LVC, wisely so once again. You can see here, again the stats showing Juice trying to will this roster to a victory, and he's just not able to do it by himself. In the Ultimate Economy, you're going to have Juice with the Viper's Pit, and Mozzie has his teleport, but he has not been using it a ton. In a lot of these series, or a lot of these maps in general, we've been seeing so many times where ultimates are getting wasted at the half, especially when they're holding them for a super long time. Just cannot have that happening. On the side of Cornell, you're also going to have a Viper's Pit, but and also a teleport. So identical on both sides. If LVC can play this well, they may be able to at least keep it towards a draw at the half. But with this current form, it's looking a bit rough. Back from the timeout. It's going to be, of course, Mideast on this site. He's just been playing here every round as is standard for most Killjoys. Juice looking to support, gets the spot on to, I believe that was Drizzy. But again, Spike, of course, as is customary, sitting in spawn, just waiting for a rotate. There are 3 sites on this map, so always the ability to rotate basically anywhere. You have a lot of time to work with too. As they may be looking to make it an A push once again. Crisper trying to jiggle beat this wall. The arches here. See if he can catch anyone out. B-Dog though gonna find Tanhua. Just barely winning that fight, sitting at 30 HP. Does get the first blood and gets away with his life. That is something that hasn't been going LVC's way a lot in this series, so that's something that you want to keep an eye out for. Drizzy, though, getting one back onto Mozzie. And again, Crisper gonna have to probably come into for a play here. Lax takes out Juice in connector, and now that's gonna leave Mideast stuck on this B site, trying to hold this B site. Viper's Pit is down. This
30 seconds
very well could be another round for Cornell.
Destroyed.
I'm a bit surprised they popped the Viper's Pit there, but ultimately, I don't know how much it matters that they popped it. Gonna see the dog come in from B-Dog.
Time to eat.
Is there anything you can find with it here? And it's just gonna get taken out by a nade. B-Dog gets put to 5 HP. Crisper falls to Lax. And this is going to be yet another round in a row for Cornell. They're gonna tie this up at 4. And just the patience from Cornell, giving them every opportunity to bring this one back, and they have done just that. Gonna be at 4-4, and they may even be able to take out B-Dog.
Last player standing.
They do find Mideast, and they do find B-Dog. So those are huge, huge plays from Cornell. Not only do they bring it to a draw once again, they annihilate the economy of LVC. They're at least able to buy in this round, but it's really not going to be a whole lot, especially if LVC ends up losing this round too. They need to have their ultimates, or use their ultimates here, I would say, if they want to have a chance at taking this one.
Shake them up.
You also see B-Dog getting the Seekers in this round. So there's going to be even more potential here for LVC. That's going to rely on B-Dog staying alive over towards A main. Spike in the hands of Tanhua. Looks like they're going to try to pressure Mideast this time around.
Turret's destroyed.
As they grab the ult orb. That showstopper from Drizzy now in their hands. Mideast at least has a stinger, but has to back away, gets flashed, immediately gets out of there. And that is all the util off the site too. No mollies left. The buys were pretty low, so I don't even know if Mideast was able to buy mollies.
Here.
And now the spike is starting to get planted.
Spike
But
planted.
that's going to be at least an entry for Juice. Let's get the first blood onto Drizzy through the smoke. It's maybe an opening for LVC. But this is a very tough retake. Giraffe finds Mideast, evens it up once again. Lax taking down Mozzie. Now every player's stuck back site. They got to make a move here. And it's going to be a very, very tough one. As Crisper falling too. This should be a
Last
Cornell
player
round and
standing.
a Cornell lead. They have just not gone away this entire series. They do not care how many rounds in a row this can put together. They'll do one better. And now that's 3 ultimates in the hands of Cornell. The teleport from Lax, the Seekers from Tanhua, and Drizzy with the showstopper. That's also 4 ultimates from LVC. Juice again with the Viper. Sorry, he still has the Viper's Pit. Mozzie with the teleport. B-Dog with the Seekers, and Crisper. That's his showstopper. With just 3 more rounds left in the half, you're going to need to start seeing these come out for LVC. They need to start keeping to put rounds on the board. And the buys are very broken for LVC. I did mention that last round, but I will mention it again here as Drizzy finds a double, catches both players, Juice and Mozzie, looking the other way, waiting for the players through B main to get there. That's going to cost them their lives. And Drizzy finds his third, finally getting shut down by B-Dog, but not until he basically allows the plant to go down by himself. It's down to B-Dog and Mideast. And there's not a lot in front of him. See that smoke taking away some of, or decaying some of Mideast's health. He's going to fall there, and you'll see Giraffe clean up B-Dog at the end of it. 6-4. And despite how good LVC have looked on this map recently, they have not been able to hold Cornell in this one. And Cornell just looking to set themselves up for the defensive side, where it is a fair bit easier, I believe. I probably flip-flop back and forth on this opinion. I change it every day on what side appears to be easier, but again, I'm also not a Valorant person, so I'm wrong, but it's a full send towards C for both LVC and Cornell. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, and Mideast able to escape. Still has util here to work with, too. Also gives Mozzie the ability to rotate. Now things will slow down. Cornell looking to rethink this one. And they're going to do just that. B-Dog the lone man on A main. Now Molly almost direct impacts B-Dog. His location is now spotted and called out. There is a on C, but Spike isn't there. So Mideast can just back away from that if he really wants to. B-Dog has to back up as well. He just has to give up this plant. Has the Seekers, but It's not
30
really going to
seconds
help
left.
the rest of his team when
Spike
they still need
planted.
to rotate over. They also got to be aware of this flank from Giraffe, and I believe B-Dog seeing the Secret go backwards. I'm probably helping him out with that. But what is that play from CRISPR? Get nothing. Lockdown comes in for Mideast. And that should at least back these players of Cornell off the site. But look at that plant spot.
Here.
Planted just for tree. Those players lined up though. Mozzie only able to find one. And that player defusing should get taken
enemy
down.
remaining.
Mozzie finds his third.
Last
Can he
player
find his fourth?
standing.
No, and that's a collateral from Giraffe. Just barely shutting that round down. Cornell will have a
Last
lead
round
going
in
into
the half.
their defense. Can LVC at least make it only a 2-round lead? What looked so good for LVC at the start of this half ends up being 7 straight, possibly 8 straight for Cornell. But with 4 ultimates in your hands, you have to use them in this round.
Bury them. Poison orb.
LVC also don't have full buys here. You can see the only one with, or only 2 with rifles are Mozzie and B-Dog. CRISPR has a showstopper. Now he has intelligent players here. He needs to use it. He gets flashed. Is he going to use his ultimate? He at least stops that showstopper. Can he get his down? He does. Somehow LVC doing a great job of pulling out this
enemy
round.
remaining.
Mozzie takes down Flax, puts it all down to Tanhua. This A push has been completely stifled. Flawless for LVC in the round, and they will at least keep the lead only
Switching
at 2 for
sides.
Cornell.
Alarm bot out.
That is great work from CRISPR. Managed to just barely in time take down that showstopper of Drizzy. Also finds another pick to go with it with his own showstopper. As I had said, the ultimates need to be used in that round. And really, they didn't end up fully needing to be used, but
Placing
there will
alarm
be a
bot.
few of them that go to waste. Now LVC gonna need to respond with a strong attack of their own. If they want to keep themselves alive in this series and possibly alive in the playoff hunt.
Here. Toxin screen down.
LVC just trying to get any info that they can. Juice pushed pretty far up towards A main. It's gonna go one-on-one with Juice and Drizzy. Juice gets the first bullet. Can he finish off the kill? Tanhua support.
Toxins going up.
Pops his wall and backs away. Now LVC gonna look to rotate. B-Dog. Dog around. Does get connect on Giraffe. Well, it didn't connect. It spots Giraffe, but gets taken out before. It's able to
Poison's off.
connect fully with him and stun him. Regardless, the intel is given. And with just 30 seconds left in the round, LVC needs to start making their move.
30 seconds left.
Placing sentry.
The volley should get popped here in just a second as Giraffe
down.
gonna get the first blood onto CRISPR. Can Juice respond? He does, but again, trades are coming through, and there are 3 players from Cornell on
player
this site.
standing.
And look at that push from Cornell. They're gonna stop this push in its tracks. No one watching the cut, and that's gonna cause LVC the round. Cornell just doing a great job of keeping LVC at bay. And that's been LVC's downfall this entire series.
Turn out.
And slowly but surely, Cornell inching their way to a series victory. And I believe a 2nd place spot, depending on what their round diff looks like after the series.
Placing swarm grenade.
And again, LVC going for a full split. Juice holding over towards A. 2 sent over towards Mound, and the other 2 sent towards B
Here.
main. But again, it's just a heavy info play from LVC. Not really getting any information out of this, though. So we saw in the last round, Juice was able to find some players over towards A main, and that's what really led to the play to go towards C. They're going to take that fight over towards A. It's going to be Drizzy finding a double, Tanhua finding another. So LVC going to have a man disadvantage as they look to rush to the A site. It's going to come down to Lax, and when he's able to find him, at least takes a tick off of Mozzie.
Spike planted.
That spike at least going down. LVC just need to hold B-Dog with at least a fan in front of him,
standing.
but Red Spy checks the corner. That's going to leave it down to Mozzie in a 1v3, and all he's got is a Spectre in his hands. He's getting snipe fighted off, and he's going to get shot through the smoke just to make sure he gets taken out. And Cornell continuing to hold the lead. Okay, Cornell continuing to hold firm. They may very well be starting to put the closing notes on this series. And again, LVC, not a bad idea there on that A main push, but the problem comes from where these players are looking. We're not seeing a lot of trades come in. We're not seeing tradable positions even being held by these LVC attackers. And that is honestly what I personally am seeing as the root of this problem. A lot of the util goes unused, and a lot of the info goes, or I should say, a lot of the positioning goes out of the window when it starts getting to that crunch time, and when everyone in LVC is involved in a fight. We're not seeing trades come through. We're not seeing positions where players can be traded coming through either. Three players sent over towards Mound. They're going to end up backing away from this one. And actually, they're going to double down. Seeing where this takes them. Looking to cut noise. See if they can catch these players off guard. Red Spy, though. Just waiting for it. Gets hit with the blind. He's going to have to back away. But does he find anything?
Spike down.
At least gets his own trade with the molly before falling. So it is a 4v4. Make that 3v4 for LVC. And everyone's getting cut down. It's pandemonium on the C site once again. 30 seconds remaining. 2v2. B-Dog and Mideast
I got the spike.
need to clutch this one out.
Placing alarm bot.
You cannot afford to give Cornell their 10th here.
Placing swarm
You
grenade.
need to find
Swarm
something on
grenade
the board.
Last player
And look at that.
standing.
Lax just comes from behind the site, gets the pinch. B-Dog, Mideast both caught looking at the cuts. And that's going to cost them the 10th. Starting to get down to the wire here in map number 2, and Cornell continuing to put their lead almost in an almost unreachable position for Lebanon Valley. And look at the buys. Does not get much bleaker than this. This Cornell has just taken everything from LVC. Now 5-stack towards A main for Lebanon Valley. Is this going to do anything for them, though? There's a lot of shots going through these smokes. It's just going to be a pure 2-on-5. What does Drizzy have in him? That bot does a lot of damage, though, and at least takes down a few. Again, so quickly down to a 2v3.
One enemy remaining.
As Lax gets put to 1 HP and stays alive, lives to tell the tale. Mozzie all by his lonesome. And that bot gonna at least make him vulnerable for just a little bit, down to 24 HP, stuck in a 1v2.
My ultimate is ready.
Can the sophomore come in the clutch?
Cover going out.
Blind, or sorry, the smoke. Gonna give him some space. Not getting the audio cues. Where does he look? He may just have a pinch. He may just have a pinch. He may just have a pinch, but gets caught out by Giraffe. Great awareness from Giraffe there. Turns around at the perfect time. Does not allow himself and Lax to get shot in the back, especially with Lax at 1 HP there. That could have been disastrous. The op picked up, tossed a bound to his teammates, and Cornell may have just sealed it with that round win there. Can LVC at least bind this round? They can. But they're going to need a whole hell of a lot to go their way if they want a chance in this map. It has not been a great showing today from London Valley.
Cover going out.
Cornell has looked fantastic so far.
Here.
Again, this A main hit.
Toxin
This A
screen
main
down.
fight every single round, and
Ultimate is
Juice
ready.
this time taking out Lax to win it. This is going to start the A main push for LVC, and you can see they're taking the space as quickly as possible. This is exactly what you want to see from London Valley. They need to take this space as imminently as possible. Just need to make sure Tanhua doesn't play spoiler. Finds a double. Tanhua on the other side finds the third on the Juice. Great centering.
One enemy
And
remaining.
that is just something that cannot be happening. Mozzie again in a 1v2.
Spike planted.
Could be on the precipice of something incredible if he's able to win this round. There's the player above him. Now has to account for both sides. And he's going to get shot right in the back of the skull. Actually, back of the neck, I'd say, because it didn't count as a headshot. That is 12 on the board and 1 round away from taking the series and essentially clinching playoffs. Not quite, but getting really close to clinching playoffs.
Match
Is
point.
Cornell. Ultimates. LVC needs to use at minimum 1 ultimate here to win this round. B-Dog has the Seekers. Mozzie has the Teleport. Juice has the Viper's Pit. Something needs to be used here.
Recalling my bot.
Tanhua with the Seekers of his own. Drizzy with the Showstopper. Can that
Placing alarm bot.
be the curtain call for Drizzy?
Turn
Or simply will his teammates be better? And I say that Giraffe finding first blood essentially immediately with that operator. Also, the Smokes player using the op is something that you don't see every day, but here it is. Also, 1 off of that pit. Does it really matter, though?
You should run.
Lockdown popped in, but it doesn't matter. Juice gonna get sniped out from that operator. Giraffe hitting the shots. Can they get out of this? No. Giraffe is actually just gonna get detained. But it really shouldn't matter, I don't
I've got your
believe.
trail.
It'll just be a retake sort of issue. As Tanhua takes down
Spike
Mozzie.
down.
This is a series wrapperoo. As B-Dog, the last player left alive. Actually, no, sorry. Modi is the last player left alive. Showstopper does take out 1, and that lockdown popped in just to make sure, but it doesn't even it's
Defenders
not
win.
even needed. Cornell takes it 2-0. And they are almost locked in for playoffs. Fantastic work from Cornell there. You can see 5-13. Just not a great showing from LVC today. A lot of stones left unturned for their direction. But that is going to do it for us here tonight. Of course, LVC Valorant still can make playoffs, but it's a much tougher road now. They do have a few solid teams in front of them. But again, that'll do it for us tonight. If you want to follow us more, go check out our Twitter and Instagram at LVC_esports. Make sure you follow us over there for updates on all of our teams, what they're doing, how they're doing. We just posted standings earlier this week, or I should say yesterday we posted standings, and also all the content that we're pushing out. Make sure you follow us on those platforms at LVC_esports on Twitter and Instagram. Also follow us here, turn notifications on for when all of our streams go live. We stream almost every single day for pretty much all the for every title that we do have. So make sure you catch that here. But that's going to do it for us tonight. We will catch you guys back here tomorrow night with LVC Rainbow Six taking on Kansas State. We'll see you guys then.